Shake it, everybody. Welcome to the Nerdy Couch Show. Today, we're going to be doing a little bit of this guy. Well, we won't be doing this guy, but we'll be doing a show about...
Good day. Welcome to the Nerdy Couch Show.
Thor.
Hey, how are you?
Good. You know what? Let's get right into it and roll the intro.
Nerdy Couch. Welcome back. Today we'll be talking about my movie.
Your movie. Hey.
Thor, Love and Thunder.
Can't wait to talk about this movie. Do you know what Mike Tyson said to Chris Hemsworth after they finished working out?
Of course I do.
What was it?
I can't remember.
Oh, you're going to be Thor in the morning.
Oh, what a charmer he is. What are we doing today?
We're going to be talking about Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. My movie, Love and Thunder.
That's right. That's right. Well, yours among other individuals.
My movie.
There's a surrounding cast that really... Okay.
So
yeah, your movie.
You know, if I'm being honest with you, the movie... Are you watching a video over there? On your phone?
Doing the audio check really late.
Oh, yes.
It's the audio check.
Production value around here is terrible.
Production.
I'm just personally happy that I've got good old me on your back.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, she looks really...
She's looking fine.
She does look very good.
She's it's been a while since... Stonebreaker. Stonebreaker, we're just talking.
Yeah.
We're just talking, Stonebreaker. Could you hold this?
Sure.
I knew all along. All right, fine. Fine, Stonebreaker. I says we were just talking. Obviously, he gets a little jealous.
Yeah, I see that.
So the movie that I'm in.
Yeah.
Great movie.
It was a great movie. I agree. And I really...
Great movie.
That's awkward. Maybe.
Lights have gone out again. You've seen that. Lighting problems at the studio here.
But that's okay. Sometimes, things happen once in a while.
Stonebreaker, if I could just set you aside here. We'll just put you up here for a moment, Stonebreaker. Don't move. Oh, she's not happy. She's not happy. Monica, thank you for coming.
Wait, I think I can get my own little bit of... I'm going to try and get my own...
It's a burden and a blessing. It's a burden and a blessing.
I feel that.
You know.
Yeah.
You look a little bit like Chris Cornell now.
Do I? Maybe this... You know what? Maybe...
Oh, they don't...
Maybe they can...
They're not agreeing right now.
Maybe they can learn to get along.
It's a bit of a threesome going on here.
That's weird.
I'm not... What happens?
Hey, you know,
in Asgard stays in Asgard.
What you do with your hammer is your own thing.
New Asgard, of course.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about the movie. I can't do this the whole time. Okay, I'll wear this, but I can't do this the whole time.
No, you just
can't do the voice the whole time. Okay.
That's funny. You know why I think that's funny is because we were frequently playing some Dungeons and Dragons, and we were playing Orc Brothers.
Yeah.
And you managed to do the voice with me
for nearly a whole campaign.
Yeah, for hours.
But
just campaign worth.
Yeah. But we need to be serious.
I think so because it's a
Dr.
serious
Love.
Show. It's a serious show.
Dr. Love, welcome to Thor: Love and Thunder.
How come Grim can hold the hammer, Thor?
The review. Oh, he's worthy. He's worthy.
Have you ever seen me take the reins of this show?
Yeah, he's worthy. All right. Well played, my friends, Monica says. Okay, so as you might know by now, I forget a lot.
Right. Do you want to like the opening scene? Is that
I
what
forget.
You want? Is that what you want?
a lot. Okay, so I've gotten myself a notebook and I've written some stuff down in it.
Oh, that's probably a really good.
So
idea.
I'll just pull that out now.
That's nice.
I like to make sure that I have things written down. I've gone to the dollar store and I found one that was reminiscent of America Chavez a little.
Ah, yeah, using her
You know,
star power.
Using a little bit of star power here.
Star power.
You'll notice that I flick the hair a lot because I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
So it's getting in my face a
When
little.
you get used to it, you can just let it hang there.
Yeah.
Until it gets
So,
in your mouth.
so I will be
Reading
referring
some
to,
notes?
and I think I'll mark it off with my new pen.
Is that a mermaid pen?
Tis.
That's nice.
So yeah, let's get started then.
Okay.
Um,
Opens.
it does open,
Desert.
which is something I like about movies.
Yeah.
Is that they open.
It starts in a
It
desert.
does start and it does finish.
Does it finish?
It has a middle, an end, and a beginning. That's one thing I've noted here.
It has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
I didn't note that actually.
Oh.
It's, these are just some key points that I want to make sure I
You do want to bring those
remember.
up?
I'll check them off as I go.
Did you have written there that it starts in a desert?
It does starts in desert, not dessert.
Not dessert.
Always mess that one up.
You just okay.
All right.
With gore,
Gore, the God Butcher.
not the God Butcher.
Well,
It starts in a desert with gore.
no, he's not the God Butcher at the moment.
That's right. It's just him and his little girl.
But if I do remember correctly,
Yeah.
What are you waving on about? Oh yeah! Before we get too far in, let's do a bit of a spoiler warning.
So in case you're worried,
That if you're watching this and you have not seen the movie,
now they know that it starts in a desert with gore, not the God Butcher.
we messed up hard.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I
Now I know why she was
I shouldn't have
flailing
said
around. Like I'm thinking over here, that's bananas. All right.
That's
That's
bananas.
Bananas.
But it wasn't bananas. She just forgot to put up a graphic.
Yeah, she's
That's
quick. She's quick
She's
today.
got her today.
It does start off in a desert
Yeah. with
where
gore.
if you know the Gore, the God Butcher storyline,
Yep.
I've got written down here. It's so this movie is based on a Jason Aaron book called Thor God of Thunder. It's the God of Thunder run.
Oh.
It's also based on the Mighty Thor, the Jane Foster story.
Yeah.
Also written by Jason Aaron.
Oh, cool. So they pulled two different stories and kind of meshed them up a bit.
Yeah, so that's what it's based on. And
You know what?
oh yeah, of course, she was
She
supposed to see the
She was
movies, but
supposed
then
to be there with us, but
she didn't.
she didn't go.
Yeah, that's on you.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's mark that off. That we've spoken about that. All right. What?
Okay.
Don't make fun of me for my
I'm
book.
not.
Okay.
Here's a little. flash down there.
So if you know the plot line of Gore the God Butcher,
Which I did not until the announcement of this movie.
And then you looked into it?
I was looking into Gore, and he quickly became
it's a great
a favorite for me.
storyline.
Yeah.
Right. So the whole plot line revolves around Gore losing his family
Yep.
on his home planet,
Yep.
which is like a desert planet.
Yeah.
In this, and they lose it due to the fact that they starve.
Yeah, too hot, no
It's
water.
Too hot. They can't find food or water, and they praise the
Sun god.
sun god.
What was his name? Something with an N, right?
Something with an N.
I think so.
I didn't write that down.
Napupu or something.
Napupu,
Mhm.
the sun god. I thought I was bad at names.
Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, so he loses his daughter basically right at the beginning of the film.
In this,
which
he loses
obviously-
his daughter. In the original,
He loses everybody.
original plan, he loses his family.
Yeah,
essentially.
so I don't think they showed like the whole opening of his thing. It was
Yeah,
just him and his daughter.
It's
at
loosely
the very end.
based.
Well, I think even in those books though, it was like him and his daughter were at the very end of his family. Like he lost a child last after the rest of his family had died. And stuff, so.
We'll get into this more about the children of this movie because they play a big part in it.
They really do.
But
a great part of it.
The little girl is played by India Rose Hemsworth, who is Hemsworth's daughter.
Yep.
Which we suspected that there was some of the cast children.
Yeah, because right in those credit scenes, they had like a special thanks piece, and it was listed like there was a whole 3 or something Hemsworths, and then some of the other kids of the cast were.
So I think all of Hemsworth's children are in this.
I think so too. Yeah, because in the running scene, his son is the little boy, and then I can't remember who his other kid played.
He played one of the kids. I can't remember the two boys' name, but the one child played that scene where he's running in and he's growing up.
Yeah.
And the other child was one of the kids in the cage.
Okay. Yeah. So there's kids in a cage eventually. Amongst
other actors, I think Portman's kids were in the cage. Yep. Waikiki.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. I like that guy.
Waititi.
Why?
Yeah.
His children.
Yep.
Also, Christian Bale's child.
Yep.
All in the movie.
One of them, I think, was the wolf girl that was in the cage.
Also, there is so the movie starts where what's the Rock guy's name again? Why am I so stupid?
What? The Rock guy?
Not the
Dwayne?
Rock. Not Dwayne.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
All right.
Korg.
Korg. Okay. Oh, there's that Teresa. All
I didn't know Thor would be on. Oh, with hard eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
He is. Later in the show, I'm going to flick his clothes off.
Oof.
So.
You flick too hard.
Stay tuned.
So, I don't know if you know this, but in the... I can't say the actual word because it's not 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
But in comic book script,
mm-hmm.
It's commonly known as the flick word.
The flick word?
The flick word, if in that script, turns out looking like another word.
It does, because the F,
and
then you've got the
and
L.
then the L and the I end up looking like a U.
Yeah, kind of does look like a U.
And then it's something else.
C and then a K. So you can say flick, but you're not really saying flick.
So commonly that word is a comic book trope where they get away with saying the F word instead of
saying flick.
Yeah. So that's I didn't know if you knew that.
I caught that on a watch. I was doing a recap with some Easter eggs and stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
So yeah.
Which I usually don't do before the show.
Fan flicking tastic.
It was.
All right.
So yeah, opens the desert. Guy's there. His daughter dies. Sad scene.
Yeah.
I had a little tear that didn't actually come out of my eye. So I would do a different sign, but I don't know the sign for the eye.
No.
It stayed in there. I just poked myself in the eye.
So like we were saying, it opens with
Gore.
The
guy.
Not Gore. I'm talking about
what?
Who's telling the story?
Oh, Korg.
Korg is telling the story.
Korg?
Korg.
No, it's with a G.
No, I said Korg, and then you said...
No, you didn't.
Korg? And then I was like, Korg? And then you were like, Korg.
Right.
All right.
Who is played by...
Taka Wakatiki.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
No,
anywhere
you didn't.
Close?
No.
You say it.
Taika Waititi.
Waititi.
Yeah. I think.
Okay.
Maybe I'm saying it wrong.
Whom I think is awesome.
I do as well.
I like most of his stuff.
His movies are good.
All right.
The characters that he plays in there.
His sense of comedy is right up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he plays a lot of the parts in his movies.
He does.
Right?
Like, what's his name?
I'm just supposed to read your gosh darn mind.
You do often. Reservoir Dogs guy.
Yeah.
Also plays a lot of characters in his movies.
Yeah, so Reservoir Dog guy.
It's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Wasn't coming to me. You.
So he's telling the story, and that's where you get to see the death of the daughter.
Yep.
And then he kills the
Sun God.
the sun god. And then they're telling me a little story about
When he kills the sun god, he uses the necro sword.
Yeah.
And becomes Gore the God Butcher.
So the necro sword
was different. In this
Okay.
movie.
It's all black in the comics, which is essentially the first symbiote.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And it's wielded by none other than
Gore.
No.
It's a piece broken off, though, right?
In the comic books, right?
Is that correct? It's a piece broken off?
No, it's the
from
sword.
the battle? I thought it was like the necro sword comes from his weapon, but it's a piece that's broken off.
No, this is flat out the sword.
He just dropped his sword.
It's just they're not allowed to call it all black because they don't have the rights to symbiotes.
Yeah.
Right? So it was switched over to the necro sword, which gives him the power to shift between the shadow realm and control shadow monsters.
Yeah, shadow monsters.
Which your son called way before the movie started. So, quick little story. We're sitting in the theater, and I'm very famous. So, both of his children wanted to sit beside me. So, I'm sitting between them.
They kept calling him Mr. Nerdy.
Mr. Nerdy.
Can I sit beside you, Mr. Nerdy?
His one child is terribly creepy.
Yeah, Bastion, yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he can dip into the shadow realm.
He is
because
from there.
right before the movie starts and the trailers are running, he says, he looks at me and he goes, "I see shadow monsters."
Because you said something about being...
I said, "I'm scared."
Yeah, that you...
I said, "I'm glad you're sitting beside me because I'm a little scared."
Yeah.
You know, this movie might be a little bit dark.
I see shadow monsters in my bedroom.
I see shadow monsters in my bedroom.
Yeah.
Right? And then the movie starts and there's shadow monsters.
Which you would think would be horrifying for him, but he was fine.
No. Your other child was kind of like grabbing my arm a little bit.
Yeah.
But the other guy was maybe controlling the monsters.
He's a pale kid too, much like Gore was in that.
Nothing
movie,
phases that kid.
No.
All right. He was bored watching the gory parts.
Also, during our seating, I sat on an end, and I figured, my wife would sit.
Okay, so we walk into the theater, and he picks a spot where there's 4 seats, and there's 5 of us.
I figured Daniel would sit in front of us.
But no, the children decided that I had to sit there.
Yeah.
And his wife had to sit ahead of us alone.
Yeah. But she just sat right in front of me.
She was fine with it, though.
She was.
Yeah.
She was free.
I mean, at least she
there was
acted
no children
that way.
around her. It's probably okay for her. Nice.
But anyway, back to the movie.
Happy birthday to my lovely wife.
Yeah, definitely.
By the way, yesterday.
Happy birthday yesterday. Quit interrupting. Okay, we got movies to talk about. Movie.
Kills a god.
Killed the god, takes the necro sword.
Yeah, vows to kill all gods. Thus becoming...
Color drains from him, so he becomes more pale.
Monochromatic even.
Yeah. And these markings that he has when you first see him, those are markings that celebrate the deity, the god of the sun. And as you'll notice as you go through this movie, Christian Bale's character Gore has marks on his head that kind of it wasn't told in the story, but originally it was supposed to be him. There was a scene where he was marking it.
Oh yeah.
So scratching it out almost to dishonor or how do you say when you break your vow to a disavow?
I would think so. That sounds like a word.
It might be. Disavow?
Yeah.
Disavow?
So, that's part of the reason he looks more and more like scary. His teeth by the end of the movie are more jagged.
Very black.
Christian Bale played a wicked part.
Yeah, he did. He did really well.
Right?
I mean, even with the adjustments that they made to the look of the character, and I mean, I think it was
for the best in some ways.
Yeah, and I think Taika Waititi said something about so that he doesn't look so Voldemort, because
right?
Gore is a noseless.
If you have another noseless person, it's definitely going to be.
Yeah, people will be like,
So yeah, the choices were not poorly made. I don't think he looked good.
Oh, and so creepy in some of those scenes.
Oh yeah,
like when he came into where the children were and things like that in the cage and stuff.
Rips the head off of one of his creatures.
Yeah,
right.
Just
he was definitely
a great character.
I think one of the better parts of the movie.
Yeah.
All right. And some people say that he didn't get enough screen time. They cut a lot of stuff out.
Really?
There was a few more kills.
See, I could have done with more gore for sure. I would agree that he didn't get enough screen time.
There was definitely scenes cut out where he had killed more gods, like physically killed more gods, where you see in the movie that you've seen the aftermath of some of the stuff, where there's pictures of some of the dead gods and stuff.
Yeah.
But physically killing them, one of them being
the big one, the really big one,
the giant that what's the guy from Game of Thrones?
There's several
that plays the dwarf that made
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah. They were gonna possibly kill him off.
What the heck was his name?
Yeah, I can't remember his name at all in the movies.
But he was the dwarf that helped Thor make Stormbreaker.
Yeah. They were also going to possibly kill off the
Collector.
Not the Collector, but
the other one.
Collector's brother, which was played by. Why can I not remember any names?
I don't know. That's why you have a notebook.
I do, but I didn't write it down. The guy who played in the Jurassic Parks.
Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum's character.
Yeah.
But because he is like a larger character in the Marvel Universe, it could cause some trouble down the road. So I think they cut it. It could cause
in case you want to kind of drop him in different.
Yeah, because they might still want to use him here and there, right? I look good, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's a look you should probably go
for. So they did have more planned for that character, but I don't think that it hurt much because I enjoyed
what
I got.
Sure.
Right. Like I said, possibly one of the better parts of that movie. I like how the parts with gore are so dark and lacking color, and then the parts where you've got the rest of the crew are so light. Like the use of darks and lights in this, the contrast between those really worked for me.
And that were parts of the one review that I was watching that we're talking about that stark contrast between all that monochromatic stuff, and then on the other side you have a lot of vibrant colors. The gods area is really bright and shiny. You've got the rainbow bridge. Like, it was it was a real cinematographic masterpiece.
It was honestly stunning.
I loved it.
All right. I watched some videos. I've watched a lot of hate videos on this.
Well, probably. I mean, it does have a lot of cheese in it, right?
Yeah, but
I loved it. Like, I loved that. And again, but I like cheesy stuff.
I think what Kiki is done to Watiki? Waititi?
TT?
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Taika.
Taika?
Just go with Taika. Can you remember that?
What he did with the last Thor?
Yeah.
Was great. right?
Yeah.
I'm just seeing a lot of people that are disappointed at the direction they've taken with Thor being more of a goofball or more of like a punchline.
He's a very silly guy. But I mean, he's just out there having fun.
But I think like
until it's time to get down to business.
Yeah. What I've read in the because I wanted to find out what he was like in like mythological sense.
Yeah.
Right. And he was a bit of a goofball.
Sure.
Right. So I think they played it well. I'm fine with it. I think this movie was all in all a fun movie to watch.
For sure.
But at the same time, still a dark movie.
Yeah. Like those parts. And I think that was a great contrast too, was that, those parts where you're watching Thor and it's really goofy and fun and there's some silly elements to it and some comedic stuff, but then it transitions right into that dark.
Yeah. And I think there's a healthy balance of it.
For
right?
sure. I wasn't a hater on it, like, at all. I loved it.
They had Thor come in off of a meditation state, so he hadn't done anything. Pulls Stormbreaker out, and I thought it was cool how Stormbreaker had been planted almost, and roots were growing.
Yeah, started rooting.
Right, that was cool.
Which makes you wonder: would a new of Groot species grow out of Stormbreaker?
Yeah.
Would it be a new?
It could be.
So yeah, he pulls it out and then hops on it like a witch and rides Stormbreaker down into battle.
Yeah, which kind of in the last movie, Korg remember where Korg's like, "Oh, you were riding your hammer?"
Yeah.
Right?
No, I swing it.
I'm swinging
really
it
fast.
and then it pulled me. Oh, your hammer pulled you off.
Yeah, I love the bits between Thor and Korg too, because they're kind of like similar in a way of that quirky goofiness. That's really fun.
Some people were saying,
"Oh no,"
that they didn't like that, where every time something was, happening, there was always like Korg there to break it, and it was just
not just
punchline.
Not just Korg, but the goats. I think helped so much.
So
when
did they overdo the goats?
No, I loved the goats. I thought the goats were fantastic. I need more goats in later movies just to pop in. I don't need like a whole bunch more goat, but if the goats pop in somewhere,
Look, I wrote goats.
Good. If the goats pop in somewhere, Tooth Grinder and Tooth Gnasher or something.
Tooth Grinder and Tooth Gnasher.
If they pop in somewhere else just for a quick scream and then piss
off.
So
those are, again, Thor's goats in the mythological sense as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's bringing them in there is just...
And pulling a boat.
It was
just...
Pulling the boat, which is powered by Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like it's focusing the Bifrost, right? Through Stormbreaker. The goats, when they every time they make the goat noises,
oh my gosh,
you're like,
I laughed
laughing.
Every single time.
And my very favorite is when they crash the boat into the planet
when it looks like it's really far away.
Yeah, like they Rick and Morty'd it.
Yeah.
All right, you're not a huge Rick and Morty fan, but there's a Rick and Morty episode where they're going to a planet and they crash into it, and he's like, "Oh, I thought it was farther away."
Yeah, they crash into that planet, and then the goats just let out a huge scream.
Like it's almost like they took this really kind of like serious part, and then they just
snapped it.
Just snapped it with the goats.
It was good though. I loved it.
So I found it humorous. So since we were talking about the Bifrost,
yes,
and Stormbreaker, let's talk about the love triangle.
The love triangle?
Possibly one of the best.
It was, again.
And that's, again, a lot of people just thought these were just...
Loved the goats.
Jokes. Loved
the campiness that jokes. They had in Yeah, well, they have jokes all the way through. Loved the silliness with
Get off my pen.
the Thor and Korg pieces, and probably top of the line through the whole thing. Gonna have a little Hobgoblin IPA.
Oh, yeah, a little hobgoblin. Well, Rob Lee's not here to ask us what we're drinking.
That's right. But Stormbreaker stole the show for me in this movie somehow.
Okay, so you may have noticed that we had a little bit
We did.
where Stormbreaker kind of floated in. All right,
And we're not going to tell you how we did that because movie magic.
yeah, movie magic indeed. But Mjolnir comes back in this movie
In probably one of the most epic fashions ever, by the way, if we can just skip to that.
Yeah, we'll do that
battle
now.
scene.
We'll explain the whole. Well, you don't know if you've watched. If you're watching this, you've watched the movie.
I hope.
Hopefully.
If this is the movie for you, I'm sorry. It's a poor retelling.
And so we'll talk about Jane.
Jane comes in, fantastic fashion. Before this, you see her. She's got cancer. She's got her diagnosis. She's going through treatments.
Pretty close to comic books writing.
Yeah. So that's the mighty Thor.
Yeah.
And she feels like Mjolnir's calling out to her, so she goes to find Mjolnir. And when she's standing there, the pieces are kind of
and just quickly to help understand that is we won't go through the whole breakup scene and stuff like that. But at one point, Thor asked Mjolnir to watch over Jane
at the beginnings of a relationship.
Yeah,
things were really good
because doing that changes the enchantment.
Yeah, he enchants it himself
on Mjolnir to include Jane.
Yeah,
which is why she's able to watch. Which is why Mjolnir calls out to her.
Right. But she's also worthy.
Yeah.
So yeah, the shattered pieces of Mjolnir you see.
I don't know if she even has to be worthy.
Maybe not, because now he's changed it up. He did it.
Yeah.
He changed
fate.
it. But so she goes and gets the hammer. It's all in pieces. And that's kind of the last. They cut and some other things are going on.
It's still in pieces.
So
but each of those pieces are still enchanted and cannot be moved.
Right. They're sitting on the piece of earth that they kind of must have uprooted and set on a pedestal or whatever, which means New Asgard is directly on the spot where Hela and Loki and Thor fought.
Yeah.
What about Russell Crowe's voice?
Okay, we'll talk about that very shortly. But not at this precise moment, because I do want to talk about
I like that scene, so we'll talk about that scene.
We will definitely talk about that scene.
Anyway, Gore, Shadow Monsters, New Asgard. We see Thor comes in there, zaps in, he's fighting around these Shadow Monsters, and Mjolnir comes flying through.
And obviously he hasn't seen Mjolnir in a while.
Right. So he reaches out and he's going to grasp it, and Mjolnir flies away from him.
Yeah, that scene where he's just kind of reaching out with a glee in his eye.
They do the slow motion.
He's like, Mjolnir?
Yeah, the slow motion, almost like he's going for the embrace.
It goes right through one of the shadow monsters, which is cool too.
Bursts its shadow eyes.
This thing's getting hot.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna commit though.
You're committed. I'm sorry. Almost touches it, flies back right into the mighty Thor's waiting hand.
Yeah.
And then
it's cool how they just scrolled down to reveal her too.
And I think in one of the things they said that they purposely weren't showing her arms in a lot of her scenes because
she was
they didn't want to show how buffed out she was, because she did a lot of work for this movie. So props.
They said the only thing they did to her is they made her seem taller.
Yeah. Yeah, they did stuff to make her look
like taller. She had platforms that she had walked around on and stuff.
But she was ripped.
Yeah.
Like
everything else was just everything was
hard
all
work.
her. It was all her. So good on her.
Mm-hmm. Then she spins the hammer, lets it fly, and it bursts into all of those pieces.
Yeah.
And is like machine gunning down tons of shadow
monsters and stuff.
And then pulls it back.
And it just reforms.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was good.
It was a great great scene, great
with
fight
that
scene.
blue around all the cracks
Yeah.
and stuff.
It was so
and
cool.
everything. And then obviously Jade.
Yeah.
Right. They have an awkward moment.
Several awkward moments, but they fall back in love in this story.
Yeah, I think which is good. But the good thing is that throughout this movie, what are you doing? You can't even look at me? All right?
Nope.
Throughout this movie, there's a love triangle between Mjolnir, Thor,
And
Stormbreaker, where Stormbreaker keeps getting jealous.
Yeah, and just floating into the
floating
scenes.
by. And just like the start of this show, Thor has to explain to...
We were just
talking. It's just an old flame.
Yeah.
Right?
Hola, amigo.
Rob.
¿Cómo está?
Rob's not here today because he hasn't seen the movie yet.
Yeah, but he is there.
Thank you very much for being in the audience.
Yeah.
Don't spoil anything for yourself, though.
That's right.
Okay?
And don't stop believing either.
Don't stop believing. Oh, I can feel it.
But yeah, love triangle, and yeah, Stormbreaker keeps floating in, and probably one of my favorite lines of the movie at this point.
I can actually sing a little bit, but every time we're on the show, it's the worst I could ever sing.
You should probably keep doing that. Don't
stop. Don't stop singing. if the goat noise had come out of your mouth right there,
we'll edit that in later.
Yeah. Maybe. No, we won't.
No, we won't.
No, we won't.
No, we're not editing anymore.
All right.
We were just talking. It's probably one of my favorite points in this whole movie.
Yeah.
My favorite lines, I guess.
Yeah, the favorite lines.
Yeah. We were just talking.
Oh no!
Spoilers gotta go. It's all spoilers, man.
Yeah, all spoilers, man. You didn't see the spoiler warning.
Put that back up.
All right.
That's right.
Spoiler alert. Boils and ghouls.
It's not that time of year yet. Can't be saying that.
It's not Halloween yet.
No.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about the Mjolnir scene, the Stormbreaker rolling in.
Throughout this movie, there is to the point where he's standing there. Thor is standing there, and he's eyeing up Mjolnir, and he gives one of these down by the hip, just kind of trying to get Mjolnir. Jane's holding Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Trying to just summon him over, and then you see Stormbreaker just float in, turn and look at him, kind of, and he's like, wasn't doing anything.
Like, Stormbreaker had so much personality. It was definitely a supporting character.
Yeah.
Like, in this movie.
Like, they literally have to credit.
Yeah. Somebody, whoever was puppeteering or whatever it was, CGI,
whatever.
They should be a supporting actor.
Some people would say that's too much.
I loved it.
Right?
I thought it was fun. And
there was a guy who said that he was in theater and he didn't laugh once and no one in the theater laughed.
I don't even believe that. I don't even believe that.
Bull. All right?
No one. Everybody just sitting there like this.
Possibly some of my favorite parts.
Mm-mm.
The cheese in this.
I'm not going to laugh for the rest of the show.
The cheese in this was Gouda. All right? The cheese in this was Gouda.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing?
No, I'm not.
I was having a good time. I don't know. That one didn't work. Sorry. It was great, though. It was graded. Great, Ed? Never mind. Bad jokes are still good.
Because they're still jokes, and they're funny.
So, anyway. Wonderful. Wonderful.
It was good.
Are you going to try to not have any personality on the show? Whoa, what's changed? That'll do it. That'll do it.
That's nice.
It's your show.
Just bitter. One time somebody said, "Hey, you're that guy on Grimm's show." One time this happened.
So he goes around
I don't.
telling people that, oh yeah, I got this show and my friend's on it. I'm the friend. Like I think still,
huh?
Think we're still friends? Going around telling his family and stuff. Oh yeah, you should go check out my show.
Watch my show.
Oh yeah, some guy comes up to me and he goes, hey, this is Nerdy Couch, and he goes, oh, the guy on your show? It's as much your show as mine now. I can't do it without you anymore, so I don't want to do it without you. It's your show now.
Thanks.
I'm just gonna leave.
Appreciate it.
What do I got here?
I don't know. What do you got?
Oh, we've already done that.
Broken things. I'm gonna read his notes.
Don't
He takes
read
great
my notes.
notes.
Don't
Really good notes.
cheat. Don't cheat.
So yeah, so at that scene, all those kids get captured and taken to a cage, and they're heading towards the Shadow Realm.
And like we said, there was a lot of the cast had children in that. At the beginning, when Korg is telling the story and he's telling people about Thor's lovers, the wolf lady was actually Hemsworth's children's mother. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. Hemsworth's brother was in it as when they were acting out the scene on Asgard.
He plays Thor along with
Matt Damon.
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, Matt Damon. No, not
Loki.
the whole movie. Good Will Hunting, just Matt Damon. All right. A lot of the stunt actors have roles in this.
Yeah, the one was the blue-haired pirate, right? She was is she Natalie Portman's stunt actress?
Yeah, also one of Hemsworth's
stunt people.
I'm gonna use words.
Stunt people.
Stunt people was in it, right? Bale's children were in it and stuff like that. I just scribbled right there. Don't know what that is.
That was you trying to spell desert.
To check that off. That whole page is done.
It's good.
Let's skip that one. Not really relevant anymore. I was gonna say that it was nice that Moon Knight and Ms. Marvel were in the opening scene. The opening
they changed up the opening credit
to involve them, which again makes me believe that these shows are going to be a pivotal part in the movies, right?
They gotta be.
These guys There's guys that don't believe that need to shut their mouths.
And those things where we were talking about, maybe Moon Knight's gods would show up in future
because
movies
do you notice that the God of Sun didn't show up in Moon Knight, and now we're seeing him.
Ra's the boss,
right?
Big boss.
So it's one of the names that Thor calls out when he's excited to go to what is it called? What's that city called?
God City.
It's not called the God City. It's called
Angels.
City of Angels. It's not the Crow. Okay?
It's Los Angeles.
It's not Los Angeles. It's not on Earth. All right.
Omnipotent
City.
Omnipotent.
I wrote that down.
Good one.
All right.
Omnipotent City.
Okay,
so the kids get captured. He goes and he has some eye contact with Heimdall's son Axel, who changed his name to the greatest rock band of all time.
So since we're talking about that, let's talk about
soundtrack.
Would you like to say it that this is the best soundtrack?
Greatest soundtrack of any movie ever.
I've never seen them use one band so much in a movie.
Almost the entirety.
Like when I saw the credits, or not the credits, but the trailer for this.
Yeah.
And it made that trailer just awesome hearing GNR. But they did it.
They really did. Like they took Appetite for Destruction and we're just using this for our soundtrack.
The entire record.
That's our soundtrack.
Right. But honestly, it worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
Well, GNR is such a diverse.
Okay, when
band,
you've got
man.
GNR, rocking out, and then you've got a Thor who busts off his robe, and
With a
he's
leather
got
vest.
a Ravager vest on, right?
Yeah.
Looking a little bit like Quill,
Mhm.
right?
Quill with cut off sleeves.
Yeah. And then Jean-Claude Van Damme's 2 speeder bikes
Yeah.
doing a
full split.
full split plank,
So good.
right?
Just holding them back with his legs. Oh, it was so good.
You know, that the beginning of that movie was just epic. And I think a lot of people were like, some people were like, oh, it was way too cheesy. It was the exact amount of cheesy that we needed.
Exactly.
All right. And I loved it.
And they did the Thor power jump, where he
Power jump,
jumps into the air with
but then he does it alone.
all by himself.
He's so alone.
He is alone. Maybe they'll do something about that
Maybe
by the end of the film.
movie, he'll jump with someone else, possibly his own daughter, but not his own daughter.
But kind of his own daughter now.
Yes, he's adopted.
Maybe we'll get there.
All right.
When we get
he went
towards the end.
He went to an agency.
Yeah.
And he went through filled out the paperwork.
Mm-hmm. He waited the months that it takes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a tedious process, but he did it because he cares.
Especially because it's intergalactic.
Yeah. It actually, the way that they go about it in this would be much nicer. Hey, take care of my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
She just so happens to be a deity now.
Yeah.
She just so happens to be a like.
Well, she's all fueled up with
An
the
entity.
power of
Love.
love from.
She's the love of the thunder. She's the love. He's the thunder.
That's right. So love is actually a deity, like an entity in the Marvel universe, and she's the embodiment of love.
So
yeah,
what it
makes the whole titles make sense
in this movie. Yeah. It legitimately states that she's born from entity, which
eternity.
Is eternity.
Yeah,
which is
which is one of the big bosses.
Which is one of a big plot in this movie.
Yeah.
So
we'll get to that piece too eventually.
What do you want to talk about before
Let's talk. We were gonna get into Omnipotent City.
Okay. Well.
But we talked about the kids got captured.
Okay. Well, there's a reason the kids got captured.
Because they got taken during that battle.
Yes, but why did they get taken?
Because they're bait.
So what are they bait for?
Thor.
They're not bait for Thor.
They're bait for Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker, who is the biggest character in this movie.
That's the main character.
All right. He doesn't need the kids per se.
No. But he knows Thor will come with Stormbreaker.
Need Stormbreaker because
of the
Bifrost. All right.
Thanks.
Which opens a key.
I'm going to take notes right now.
To eternity.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. The movie's over.
Long eye contact.
All right. I do that well. At work, I just never stop. I wear this at work too.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's kind of reminiscent of when Thor tries to look into Star-Lord's eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, which is again a beautiful scene.
Yeah.
All right. Still near the beginning. We've got all of the Guardians minus Gamora, obviously.
Yeah. Why isn't Gamora there?
Why isn't Gamora there? Well, it's not their Gamora.
But is it? What about which Nebula's there?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Because he's talking about the lost love. That's Gamora.
Yeah.
Quill is.
Yeah, he is.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he goes as far as to say he's just happy to be able to look into the eyes of the people he cares about.
Mm-hmm. Then he's staring at the Guardians, and Thor tries to get into the
he slowly tries to get into his gaze.
Quill's not letting it happen.
No. The dynamic between Quill and Thor has been cool for a while. I love that. Anyway, skipping back to the
skipping front.
I never skip front.
No. Do you turn around 180 and skip back to the front?
I'm just always on the front.
Oh,
All right.
850.
Omnipotent City.
Yeah,
Okay. They've got to go there
they gotta.
to recruit
Gods.
some gods because they figure they got to go to they got to go there because he's talking to Heimdall's son Axel.
Mm-hmm. Who changed his name?
Yes,
because he's a big JNR fan.
There was a poster in his room.
Mm-hmm.
He noticed that they were in the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, heading there.
They got to go there now, but Gore is probably stronger in the Shadow Realm.
Right, because it's their shadows.
So what are they going to do? They got to go get some backup.
Right.
They're going to go get more gods. Thor is very excited.
Because they're going to go talk about God stuff.
Yeah. So they get there, they've got to dress up.
So what they dress up as are the emotion gods, right?
Yeah.
So it's him.
We just have
the mighty Thor,
bracelets,
Jane Foster.
Those color-changing bracelets that tell you what mood you're in.
Valkyrie went.
Yeah.
And Korg.
All dressed up like these emotion deities. All right. They're sitting in the thing. They're watching. And then, like Monica said, Russell Crowe comes out.
Right.
All right. As Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
No. He's
Zeus.
You owe me a Coke. He's Zeus.
Okay?
And he has this Greek accent type deal.
Apparently, they filmed all of his parts twice, I think is what I was listening to.
For what reason?
Because Taika Waititi didn't know which accent they wanted him to have.
That's
so they double
tedious.
filmed.
Wow. And then they went with this one.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed.
I loved it. It was fun.
Obviously, Monica did not. And she didn't even see the movie. I don't know what.
Yeah. What are you talking about, Monica?
All right. He does a well job. He just
what?
He does a job well done.
Okay.
Are you okay?
I gotta pee, but I'm okay.
Look, I talk good.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk good. Good talk.
So Thor just wants to come in and tell everybody about the orgies.
Yeah. No, not Thor.
Not Thor.
Zeus.
Zeus just wants to tell everybody about the.
I was,
the upcoming orgy.
You know what I was doing was I was kind of trying to stall for time because I thought about this scene and then I was like, hey, we got to yell about orgies because Zeus's prime
objective is to tell everybody about the upcoming
this year's orgy.
Which, again, is quite reminiscent of the Zeus in mythology. Apparently, that's what he was all about, orgies.
One, he didn't really take his job seriously, and he was always off making illegitimate children.
So this is not a bad portrayal of Zeus.
No, I think when we were looking at like the gods and this and that, whatever, and people's kind of poo-pooing on like how Thor was and how Zeus was and this and
that. A lot of these characters are more spot on than you think.
Yeah, they're pulling more stuff, I think, than the comics did from actual mythology and piling it in here. So Zeus is all about the orgies. And I mean, who isn't?
But
I not me.
You're married.
That doesn't mean that people can enjoy a good orgy.
All right. Here's the thing: Thor is not allowed to go to the orgies anymore.
Right.
Okay. Do you want to quickly talk? See, I told you not to put them together. I told you.
Can you come back in with paint on this? And
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not.
Or are you going to leave it whole?
I don't know. Maybe I'll make another one.
Yeah, you should. You should make a cracked one. Even if you made it in pieces and then
like
stuck
magnetize
it together.
them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
My mind just blew.
I mean, actually throwing it at someone might suck, but
this thing's tough.
Well, it feels durable.
It's got dowels in it. Look, watch.
No.
I'm gonna pull that out of the mystery box one of these times.
This is your treat for the day.
Do you want to talk about a few of the deities that we see up there?
Like, can we talk about the dumpling?
The dumpling? The god of dumplings?
The god of dumplings. Which was just a wee little dumpling.
If there's anything that I thought might have been too much, that might have been
that could have been it. The god of dumplings might have been over the top for me.
Yeah, it was
a
little bit weird.
Yeah, because it was a cartoon dumpling.
Yeah, but you see a lot of like the Aztec and the Maori gods and stuff like that.
There was a big touch on the Maori gods. I think there was a couple that they really kind of highlighted on their passes.
And then there was even the Wakanda god of the panther or whatever.
Maybe.
That's she has credited herself as being that.
She did. But
I don't know if it's
movie didn't have her as a cast, so
I'm not sure. Know. I'm not sure.
Until
apparently they don't have to if you don't have a speaking part.
Yeah. They don't have
or you don't have a big enough part, they don't have to credit you. But she had come out as they said that she put it on her resume.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with it.
She's a panther god.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'm cool with it.
Maybe we'll see more of her in the next Black Panther.
Very good. So eventually they need to get a move on it, and they just want to talk about orgies all the time.
Yeah. So Thor gets upset, goes to talk to Zeus man to man.
Yep.
And he says, "Let's see who you really are."
And then he flicks him. Flick. Right?
You flicked too hard, damn it!
He fucks him.
What?
Remember flick?
No, he flicked him. He definitely just said flick.
So this is the scene that Monica wanted to see the movie for. Because you get to see Hemsworth's bum.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And he's fit. He's very fit.
He's a well-oiled machine.
Okay.
I mean, he has his own fitness app. Like, he's a well-built individual.
He's definitely... Yeah, he is here, and he's trying to say something, but you've got to go pee. So welcome,
me,
Mitch.
Not you.
All right.
How's things? Things are good, Mitch.
So the others, he's like, "Oh, who are you guys? We're gonna flick you."
Yeah, and they said, "No,
we'll
flicking.
just reveal ourselves."
So they just take their outfits off.
Yeah, not all the way off.
No.
By all
they're
means.
disguises,
They're
which
disguises.
were just basically sheets.
Yeah, they're just
like they
sheets.
just threw some sheets on.
All right.
Colored sheets.
The purpose of them going there is that they need to get recruits.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not working out.
No, nobody's assisting. They just want to borrow his thunderbolt.
Zeus isn't taking them seriously.
No.
He's not taking the threat of Gore seriously. No. Right? So plan B, take the lightning bolt.
Borrow. He asks to borrow.
Well, he does ask, actually.
And then Zeus does some wicked baton tricks.
Yeah. He's definitely a character, that guy. Just doesn't take anything seriously.
No.
He's doing all this stuff, then throws it up at the pillar, and he's like, "No!"
Yeah.
So Zeus kills him. Or so Thor kills him.
Well, there's a big fight scene.
No, Thor kills him. That's it.
Exploding. Naked Thor gets his clothes back. Wicked fight scene.
It is a wicked fight scene.
Was it a naked fight scene?
Well, he's naked for a little bit. He gets his clothes back on.
But still,
He just breaks the chains too. Like, it's not like he was standing there naked for a long period of time, chained, like with golden chains.
Oh, and he's got a whole bunch
But
of.
he just kind of breaks them off when he decides that that's enough.
He's got a whole bunch of Loki themed tattoos on his back.
Yeah.
Rest in mischief.
Rest in mischief.
And a whole
He's
bunch
got
of
the
stuff.
helmet on there.
Yeah.
He had a list of people who had died.
And who he has lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some wicked back tats.
Yeah, that's fun. The fight scene there was cool. and the use of like gold as the blood.
So that they could get away with it and
Yeah.
PG it.
It was fantastic.
I feel like we might have watched the same recap.
Breakdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in this circumstance,
Show me your Stormbreaker.
hold on.
He just got
Show
What are we,
Mitch.
some sort of Muppets that you can just
Show Mitch your
you
Stormbreaker.
can just stick your hand up our butt and tell us to do whatever you want?
Your legs are very white.
Yeah, it's really the light really helps. Right?
Well, I have the white one on because then it makes me a little brighter.
Yeah, but it makes me super
Well, that's why I
bright.
have the warm light over there.
Okay. Some people can't even watch this now because they're sensitive to the light. Oh yeah, we have the big light on too.
There's a lot.
It's a lot of light, and with my complexion,
Oh, not now.
well, yeah. I mean, there's no point now. People will just see it. It'll come up on their feed, and they'll be blinded. All right.
Anyway,
We'll have to appease. Well, you go on, and I'll appease the request.
so wicked fight scene. Valkyrie's in there.
She's in there.
Mighty Thor. Who wanted to just go in and crack skulls? Was that was Jane?
That was
She just-
no, that wasn't Jane.
Or was it Valkyrie?
That was Valkyrie, and Jane just kind of went along with it because I think there's a bit of a crush going on there,
A bit of a girl crush.
right?
I got it.
So this is-
song, right? Girl crush.
Stormbreaker, whom is very jealous of Mjolnir. Okay, they don't get along right now. Okay.
Sorry. Just that's enough.
Yeah.
That's
You guys need to
time out.
settle down. You guys need to settle down. You guys need to settle down. Oh! Both Jane and Valkyrie want the same skulls crushed, or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Have you seen the
they're kind
movie,
of their go-to.
Mitch?
He just got back from it.
Oh, you just got back from it.
Yeah, I think they both wanted. That was their plan, was to just go in and crack
yeah.
heads.
What were your thoughts on the movie, Mitch?
Just put them in, and we'll keep talking.
Yeah.
So yeah, wicked fight scene. Valkyrie ends up running up and grabbing the lightning bolt, and now she's got a weapon to go use.
How does Thor get it? Because she tosses it to Thor, I think.
Yeah, I think, and then
Thor,
he whips it through Zeus's chest.
yeah, it sticks in the thing, and then she had it eventually because she went up and pulled it out of the wall.
Yeah, she was the one who ran up and got it, and she must have tossed it down.
No.
I think.
She tore it out of the wall.
After
it went through Zeus.
Right. You take that comment down. We don't condone that.
I streamed it.
Legally, he legally streamed it on a legal streaming
Device
platform.
and platform.
Disney's,
Yes, we don't condone that. Disney's already mad at us.
who sent Mitch specifically a pass to watch.
A copy of this movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a popular man.
But again, what did you think of it?
Anyway, so
They have Zeus's lightning bolt now.
yeah, and he calls.
It's time for
the
them to
screaming
leave.
goats.
It's time for them to leave. So the goats come down in their beautiful fashion.
The neighbors are having a fight.
Apparently, the neighbors are having a fight,
There's a dog barking,
and there's a dog barking. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but we can. Ugh. His hair.
Do that again.
He gets it in a ponytail every once in a while too.
A messy what? Messy pony.
Hey.
So yeah, they take off.
It's
goat
the price
boat.
of being beautiful.
Take off on the goat boat.
It's all natural. Yeah, they do take off on the goats. That's a long thing.
I thought it was pretty not bad. Taika delivered another good Thor movie overall. A little upset how they did my spirit animal Gore, the freaking God Butcher, but overall I did.
Well, I thought that that it was played well. I mean, obviously the appearance was a little different.
Yeah, and I mean, you didn't get as much depth of story for him, I suppose, either, right?
I feel like I would agree with you there, but like the scene where he was telling him to call the hammer,
Call the axe.
yeah, call the axe. He was like, dude, call the axe, dude.
That was almost identical how we both did that. That was crazy.
Yeah, because he had to make the choice. He had to choose love. You know?
Yeah, because Gore is being an asshole.
Snap. Yeah, they've got the lightning bolt.
Off they go to the planet. Run into the planet.
Yeah,
goat
the
scream.
goats again.
Epic.
Brilliant.
Loved it.
Okay.
Not the appearance, it was the story. Yes.
Yeah,
Call the
definitely.
axe.
They cut the story short, I think.
They literally could have done a Gore. They could do a Gore movie. Really.
Well,
like,
that's the thing
to
is that
cover his
maybe the
whole-
problem was that they were telling two stories at once.
Yeah.
You know, they're literally telling Jane's story and Gore's story.
Yeah.
Right.
And it might have just got some pieces of both got lost in the shuffle.
I mean, I don't think Jane's story is. It's not as big of a story. I mean, it's a popular story.
It's a good story.
Right. I don't think it's as good as
Gore's
story.
Gore's has a lot more
Depth
and emotion throughout. So it's
right.
And I mean, not to say anything about Jane's story either. Like, it has some decent depth and emotion and stuff, and a lot of humanity pieces. So, but I feel like Gore's story had more meat that they could have done.
Yeah.
With
they crash on the planet, right?
And then they realize it's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a planet with no suns by the looks of it. There may be like a sun kind of casting a little bit of light.
Some sort of strange
light. But for the most part, it's void of light.
Yeah.
Right?
All shadowy. Monochromatic.
Now, we were talking about...
Except the light sources.
Yeah. This is brilliant.
Yeah.
The whole contrast between the light and the dark in this scene, resonating only from the weapons.
Yeah. And anytime they'd like clash with the necro sword and stuff, there'd be those flashes which would cause more bits of color every once in a while, and then it would be absorbed, and it was really a cool artistic battle scene that if you've never seen the movie, you need to go and watch it just for that battle.
Just for this. The battle scenes in this are great.
Yeah.
Okay. This one probably is like tops.
Yeah. Of the movie's battle scenes, this is the one where you have your three main heroes with their fancy
fighting
weapons.
The main bad guy
with his fancy weapon.
Right. Watching Valkyrie fight with that
the Zeus Bolt.
The Zeus Bolt was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Loved that. For a time, Thor's not using a weapon because he sends it off.
Well, he doesn't. It's Mighty Thor that realizes that that's the key. She
throws
grabs it.
And then they come out, why did you throw the axe?
Why did you throw Stormbreaker out the window?
Oh, well, this is why.
Yeah.
But then he has to call it back.
Yes.
Fight with it. They go to leave.
Because they get a little beat down.
Mm-hmm. And they call the Bifrost. A mistake is made.
Again.
Because
he already made this Bifrost mistake one time.
Yeah, he doesn't learn.
No, because Hela got it.
They're off planet. Gore's got the key that he needs,
Stormbreaker.
right, and drags it across the ground.
Yeah, very unceremonious. Poor Stormbreaker.
Yeah, I think she deserves better than that.
Mhm.
You do.
She deserves better than Thor,
You do.
who obviously has eyes for
Does.
better.
You deserve better. You do deserve better. The plot of this is going to fan out, or going to we're getting to the plot of the movie where okay, so killing all the gods one by one is getting time consuming.
Right. You know what would be easier?
If you could just find a way to wish them all gone.
That's right. And that's what eternity is.
Yeah.
A wishing well.
A wishing well. Now in the comics it's not like a one and done wish.
No, an eternity is like an actual entity that you see with those galaxies and stuff.
Yeah.
Outside. Pretty consistent.
So okay, before he can get to eternity, Thor uses the bolt.
Yeah, to get back.
To get back.
And leaves Jane because Jane's messed up from the cancer.
Yeah, every time she uses the power of Thor,
it saps her strength and she can't fight the cancer.
Yeah. So it's killing her.
And Valkyrie got shanked.
So she's out.
Yeah. By what did she get shanked by? Was it the lightning bolt?
It was Gore.
Yeah. Did he use the lightning bolt?
I can't remember what he used.
I can't remember either.
But she got shanked.
Yeah, she did.
Not terribly bad.
No.
Right?
Recovered.
Oh, by the way, back on Omnipotent City, Korg gets taken out too.
Oh yeah, he is. He's just a face right now.
But because his face survives,
they grow back.
He can grow back. He is a comedic relief on this.
Yeah.
He sings a song about his two dads.
His two dads, because when their people, when their two dads find each other, they hold hands over a lava pit for days, and then a new
born baby.
There's a new baby.
Right.
Born.
We'll talk about that in a moment too, because that's funny.
Yeah.
But Thor's got to go off on his own.
Right.
Uses the lightning bolt. Poof, he's there.
And in a hallway of statues of like the most powerful beings.
Yeah, being the Celestials, the Watcher. Yeah. What else?
I can't
remember.
Death,
I think
Death was there. Which, if you know anything about Death, was a big portion of Thanos' story and Deadpool's
Not in the
stories.
movies.
Not in the movies, no. But comic-wise is a big part of that because he's trying to impress Death.
Yeah.
She's
the Living Tribunal, I think.
Tribunal with the three faces is there.
Yeah, there was maybe a couple more, but I can't pin them out right now. But this is
the one above all was the Celestial that's there.
Yeah.
Right.
So they can't, like, this is a place of fucking holiness.
Yeah. It's where all the power of the universe must be. And so, yeah, and one of those things that I was watching too, they were talking about if the Bifrost opens this one to eternity, would that mean that it's possible that the Bifrost opens gates to each individual place where you could go and talk to Death, or you could go and talk to the one above all?
They really could have used the Bifrost in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
You know? Could have gotten right there. Would have been a pretty quick movie.
Yeah. I think the axe was resisting. He had to prop it up with his tentacles while opening the gate.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It didn't want to.
Stormbreaker seemed to have and we were talking about that earlier, Mitch. I don't think before you were here, is that we were saying that Stormbreaker is one of the best supporting cast in this whole movie, and whoever CGI'd Stormbreaker needs to be on the list
credited
for
or even whoever like wrote that in,
best supporting actor or something, because it was amazing. Even if they did it as a gag at the Oscars or something and had brilliant. Stormbreaker as best supporting actor or something, I think that'd be amazing.
So,
wow, I'm a slow typer.
Well, that's
Hey,
fine because we're slow talkers, and it all works out.
Poor talkers, I think, is probably what we are.
Slow is my game.
Is it?
All right.
Lay.
I'm lagging.
You're lagging?
Generally speaking, I'm lagging. All right. Sometimes I hear the old internet sounds.
Can you do a great impression of old internet sounds?
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like. Yeah, I do impressions.
That's on point.
I do impressions.
Yeah, he does. That was on point.
Yeah. Don't act like you're not impressed.
I am impressed. Don't act like
Thor,
you're not impressed.
Right.
You and me both lagging.
Always lagging.
Laugh, cry, face sideways. Laugh, cry, face straight.
Thor's having trouble.
Do you
with
ever
gore.
read the emoticons like that?
I don't.
Okay.
All right.
I wanted to go, but you didn't.
Yeah, you didn't. It's your fault.
What were we
It's all your
talking
fault.
about? Thor's up there doing
Thor's
stuff.
fighting gore.
Thor and
Thor
Gore.
and Gore.
No.
Fighting for more.
When? In the hall?
Yeah,
You're skip jumping.
He skips up there with the bolt.
Yeah. But then Gore sends shadow monsters.
Yeah. Well, then he needs help.
Yeah. And who's there?
The children are there.
Right.
Which is this. I didn't know how to feel about this, but I think I liked it. I don't know.
I keep going back and forth on how I felt about it too. But I think I need to watch it again.
It was a pretty epic scene.
It was. It wasn't dumpling bad.
No. But what happens?
So he's got all the Asgardian children, or not all Asgardians, but there's some other ones there. But today they're all Asgardians, and he gives them for a limited time.
He tells them to grab whatever they can.
Yeah. And he imbues them with the power of the God of Thunder.
So there's little God of Thunder children running around, wielding
lightning bolt weapons.
Yes, there's a little girl who now has the power of Thor in her bunny rabbit.
Yeah, a bunny rabbit stuffy.
Which they do one of those spin around things where she does the boys baby thing.
Yeah,
where it just
uses that
lightning bolts coming out of
little girl
out
with
of the
teddy
little
bear.
bunny's
Absolutely.
eyes. Or the teddy bear or bunny.
Yeah. I know, it was some sort of stuffy, and she just zapping
pretty great.
Shadow things. Axel had a big part in that, and I thought his part was really well played, and he was a really good character overall through this movie too, like a good supporting cast member.
So they're going off and having a great time as little
Thors,
little God of Thunders, gods of Thunder,
just ripping up shadow monsters. And Axel does the big jump too, right? Whose bum would you rather see, Thor, Evans, or Reynolds? Reynolds.
That is a loaded question.
Reynolds.
I'd like to see them both.
I've already seen Thor's.
No, I've seen Thor's.
I've seen America's ass through
that
his,
tight
his
spandex.
So I'm spent
there
there
but
anyway.
You've seen Reynolds tight bum.
That's fair.
With a bullet hole in his
Rectum.
butthole.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Everyone's going to have their own opinion about this, okay? But I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm a Reynolds fan.
Yeah.
He's one of my free cards.
Yeah, I think so. He's my boy.
He's on my list.
He would, yeah.
All right.
If he just came up to me and said, "You know what? I'd like to make."
He's on my list.
I would melt in his arms.
He's on my list as right alongside that cute girl in the Walmart cashier.
Right. Because you want to keep it realistic.
You got to keep it realistic.
Right? Also, he's Canadian.
He is Canadian, and that's we got to keep it real.
Canadian boys.
So, and he's brilliant.
Yeah.
So, I like a man who can laugh at himself.
I don't make me laugh.
You know, if I saw him on Tinder or Plenty of Fish, I'd swipe.
Super like.
Yeah.
Super like.
Yeah, you can super like.
That's more than just a like.
Yeah, that's super. I haven't been on there since Wednesday though, so I don't know these things. No, honey, guy like this. If I went on there, no one else would get anything. This
Anyway,
is my new profile picture for everything now.
Yeah.
Um,
does Axel do the super jump?
Axel does no?
Yeah. I
Does
think
he?
super jumps into the crowd of shadow monsters.
Yeah, he's really. Heimdall should be proud,
I would be if I was Heimdall.
right?
Except for the name change thing, I guess. Might be.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
if
I
I
mean-
was Heimdall, then
I don't
I'd be a big Guns N' Roses
Alright.
fan too. So.
So eventually, Thor's having a hard time with Gore.
Yep.
And who jumps in?
The mighty Thor, Jane
The
Foster.
mighty Thor, disregarding her illness, knowing it could possibly kill her. All right.
Yep.
Jumps in to save her love.
I don't think.
Chris Hemsworth.
I think she knows it's going to kill her for sure, and he knows too.
Yeah. He gives her the look.
Yeah.
Like,
He's like, you're gonna die.
tisk, tisk.
Reynolds bum. Thought we were past this.
We said Reynolds bum. It's always on my mind.
Those are some crazy eyes you just had there.
When you mention Reynolds bum, I get crazy eyes.
Okay.
I got some good crazy eyes.
So yeah, Jane gets in there,
Yeah.
and they're talking about how they're gonna stop.
She's whooping butt.
It's a good TikTok week.
They're gonna.
All right.
Yeah.
Join us on TikTok.
Yeah.
Where,
Or Reels.
where our producer will put up some of the clips from the show, anything she finds humorous.
Yeah. She clips it.
She'll clip it out. Normally stuff that's embarrassing to us.
Mm-hmm.
People seem to enjoy it though,
Apparently,
right? Apparently a guy loves us.
which is great. I
You
love them.
I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. All right.
So now we've got the God of Thunder and the mighty Thor.
The mighty Thor and the God of Thunder working together
Mhm.
to best Gore.
The God Butcher.
They want him no more.
Mm-mm.
They're going to settle the score.
His name is Tuesday Grant.
Pardon me?
They what?
The person who loves you.
That's a girl.
It's a
Tuesday's
girl.
my friend.
Oh, she fell in love with you guys.
Well, that's because
Thanks,
it's her
Tuesday.
friend. What's the name?
Tuesday.
That's just Tuesday?
Yeah, her name is Tuesday.
Well, Tuesday, special thanks to you for joining the Nerdy Crew.
Yeah. I'll show you where to get a shirt.
Yeah, we'll hook you up.
Well, no, I thought maybe you should buy one. But
Well, is she your friend?
yeah.
That's how you treat your friends?
No, okay, I'll get you a shirt.
Oh, it's like pulling teeth to get a Nerdy Crew shirt around here.
So all this stuff is happening while Stormbreaker's being forced into servitude. Thor stops fighting Gore
tells
to pull
Jane
the sword some more.
tells Jane that, or she says, "I can handle
Yeah.
Thor. You go and pull Stormbreaker out. You got to stop the Bifrost from opening that door, essentially."
Because they can't take no more. Thor and Gore.
Okay. Jane does this pretty wicked thing, eventually.
Yeah.
Where
Managed to break the necrosword.
yeah, but not before the cheesiest line of the whole movie, where she says,
Was it Taste My Hammer?
or take my hammer, or taste my hammer.
I think it's Taste My Hammer.
Something
Mitch
like
just
that.
watched it. She was trying. Andrea wants a shirt. Yeah. So now I have to just be getting shirts for all my friends.
Well, no, I mean, you
I sent
can't.
the store link.
Oh, the store link's on there.
All right.
If you want a
apparently-
shirt, there's the
Apparently,
store
if
link.
you want
Please
a shirt,
buy
you
a
have to
shirt.
buy a shirt because Grimm is cheap.
Just, yeah,
All right.
be able to just buy
Anyway.
everybody's shirts.
Anyway, she does right after saying,
Eat my hammer.
Eat my hammer. Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you.
Um,
Fresh in his mind.
best
Hammer eating.
best call out. Best war cry.
Mm-hmm. That was the best she could come up
You
with
know.
at the time.
Well, it could be like the Tick. Spoon. Right? Anybody watch the Tick
I
or
hope,
used to
I
watch?
hope somebody used to watch The Tick.
Yeah.
This is a great show. And if you haven't ever watched The Tick, please go back and find it somewhere and watch seasons
And
of The Tick.
if you have, put in the comments after the show just the word spoon.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So she throws the hammer.
Yep. And
Mjolnir.
meow meow meow
Mjolnir.
meow meow.
It breaks
Opening up.
the sword.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The necro sword.
Sword.
And then as it's returning,
Because the necrosword is going back together by itself.
yeah, it's going to repair itself.
Yeah.
As it returns, it collects pieces of the necro sword and then forms it together with
On the inside of.
on the inside
Meow.
of Meow Meow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then she calls down the lightning because Gore is trying to call the pieces back. She calls down the lightning to destroy the pieces. Okay. Is that the end of the necro sword?
I don't.
All black?
I don't feel like that's.
I hope not,
A fitting
because
end to
I
it.
want to see a null represented in the MCU.
I was worried a lot about if we just swing way back to the very beginning, that their portrayal of the whole thing is going to be that Null is that black clad god that was laying there defeated.
Yes, I don't think that's the case.
I hope it was just like another avatar. of his.
I've heard that there was a character that was the master over the Shadow Realm.
Okay.
Can't remember the character's
Right,
name,
right,
but I
right.
believe that's the character that is lying dead there, which is I hope is the case, right? Because we need a null represented in the MCU
For sure.
Symbiotes, however you want to say it. I've heard it said that way.
Symbiotes?
Yeah,
Don't ever say that again.
Symbiote?
you go look it up. People say it all different kinds. All right. We need, like, they're in the MCU now. Venom left a piece of himself,
I know. We need a Null.
right? So that's where things must go.
Eventually.
But in this movie,
Right.
they've now stopped the all. Like I want to call it all black because that's
Stop the necrosword.
the necro sword.
Kind of just.
Yeah. But not before the Bifrost has done its job and opened up the thing,
Mhm.
the door.
Why did you say door like that? Is that how you say door?
Yeah, why not? The door.
It's really weird. It sounds like opens the door.
Have you ever listened to the Doers?
So Eternity opens.
Eternity doesn't open. The pathway to
Path to Eternity.
Okay.
And then they're in Eternity. No, wait, they're not in it.
They're not. Whew.
That's a whole other movie.
Yeah.
They're in the realm of Eternity,
With
Eternity sitting there all peaceful.
he's gonna make his wish.
I
The look of Eternity is spot on.
I
by the way.
wish I didn't eat that fish.
So they're gonna make their Dragon Ball wish.
Yeah. I wish for a pair of pink
Pink
underwear.
Pink underwear. If you're a Dragon Ball person, you'll understand that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That's a deep cut.
That's a very deep cut. That's next week. No. He's about to make his wish. Jane lying in Thor's arm, dying,
Yeah.
as we knew would happen because it drains her so much. And Thor convinces Gore to do something more good.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah. Yes, he does.
Rather than
he gets him to
kill
choose
all
love.
gods, he gets him to choose love. Gore sees the love.
I don't
that
know.
Jane and
I think Jane was really the convincing factor.
because of the act that she had committed.
Well, I don't think Thor talked much in that whole jam. I think he was pissed off and sad because he just kind of gives him the nods.
So what
and
does
stuff.
Gore wish for rather than all gods to be gone?
He wishes for his daughter because now he knows that someone's going to be there to take care of her.
Does he know?
Knows that he's dying. Yeah, Thor gives him the nod.
Yeah, he says, "Hey, boo.
Hey, guy, I've been trying to kill for the
You know all the things I've done?
whole movie.
You want to forget that? And then maybe just take care of my daughter? You'll have to make her school lunches
Mm-hmm.
and stuff.
Teach her battle.
Yes, you'll teach her to battle like the best of them.
Mm-hmm. You have to take
But
her to
mostly-
the dance recitals,
Mostly,
the gymnastics classes.
you'll teach her to rock.
No, to love.
Oh, love. Yeah, he's confirmed that his daughter, knowing that he will die, his daughter will live on and be cared for by Thor.
Right.
All right. The rhyming possibilities of this movie.
Oh my goodness, you could write a rap.
Yeah.
Those are bars.
Dun, 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 dun. Thor.
Goa.
Hey,
Koa. You
You're
could
gonna have
stretch.
some s'mores.
There's one word that I've been trying not to say that rhymes. I know it's 9:30, but I don't want to say it.
You're a better man than that.
Mm.
That's what people say
How about me?
about you.
Yeah.
So.
Brings her
does
back.
she have a name?
I would imagine.
Yeah, he does wish for that. Brings her back. They have a moment.
He's lying dying. You know what I was waiting for him to say? His whole death scene where she's sitting there cradling him, which is a throwback to when he's cradling her as she's dying. I was waiting for him to say, "I'm tired," and I think it really
because that's
would've-
what she
that
said
was
when
the last
she was.
thing she said was, "I'm
Yeah.
tired," and then she passed away. And I thought that would have been a really nice loop around.
Throwback,
Maybe it's
you know?
too on the nose, and it would have been
It would have been perfect.
too obvious.
honestly.
But I felt like if he would have just said, "I'm tired," before he went, it would have been a
Um,
little cherry.
now, when she walks up, the mirrored image in the water is her
with like
a silhouette of
silhouette.
her with the eternity's
Yeah.
markings, I guess. I don't know how you call it.
Eternity Force.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what she sees when she looks in the mirror?
Yeah, I would hope not.
Because how are you going to do your hair?
So now she obviously has some cosmic energy,
Cosmic.
right?
Yeah.
She is now a cosmic deity,
Mm-hmm.
all right? Which, as we know,
Is
is the
Embodiment.
entity.
embodiment.
She is born from eternity.
Right.
Right?
She's love.
She is love.
Mhm.
The entity love.
Hence the name of the movie. Love and
Brings it all together, doesn't it?
does.
Right?
And everybody probably thought that love, when you're watching the movie, everybody
it
was
was gonna
like,
be the whole
it's because
Jane
it's the
and
love story
No.
between Jane and
Fuck Jane.
Thor.
All right?
I don't know if that
So,
was
sorry, really?
a little much, but
The movie ends with it's a pretty cool scene, actually.
yes.
He's doing exactly what I said. He's making her breakfast.
Yep.
And
What
stuff.
did he call them? Mitch, if you can remember, because you just saw it.
Yeah, what did he call
What
the
did he
pancakes?
call the pancakes? Please, or if anybody can, throw it in the.
He
comments.
doesn't call them regular pancakes.
No, Earth something.
Yeah. And that's another thing that like is very mythological Thor thing is not understanding like Earth culture.
Sure.
and stuff, and calling things the wrong thing and stuff. Like in the other thing where he just smashes the cup.
And he's trying to get her to put her boots on.
Yeah.
And she won't. She's not having it because she's wearing ugly, slippery things, and tries to shoot him with laser eye beams.
She calls him a demon.
Earth pan flaps.
Pan flaps.
It's the earth pan flaps that you like.
These pan flaps are almost done. All right. I'm going to call them that from now on.
Yeah.
I have to.
Would you like some earth pan flaps?
Would you like some pan flaps? Honey, would you like me to make you some pan flaps?
Jeremy's really good.
Oh, I got some hair in my beer. It was going down in there.
Eventually, she concedes to wear the boots. He straps them up for her. And he talks to her about things, giving her some life lessons.
Yeah. And then they open up the ship. He goes to grab Mjolnir,
Yeah.
which now he is wielding again.
Yes.
All right.
And who is wielding
Well, hold on. She's drawn
a little
face on
beautiful face
on Mjolnir.
in colored?
All right, which he seems okay with.
He's like, this is very artistic.
Now, Mjolnir still has the cracks in it
Yep.
and stuff, but he's still happy to have her.
Yeah.
Right? And he hands over Stormbreaker to the little girl.
Mhm.
The ship opens, right?
With some beautiful narrative by Korg. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful narrative.
Beautiful narrative.
Korg is
narrative
one of my
for the-
favorite characters.
Oh, for sure.
All right. Oh, we forgot before. We have to talk about what happens to Korg.
That's right. He eventually grows back himself and finds his husband,
Dwayne.
Dwayne
The Rock.
Dwayne the Rock. True story. They hold hands. They have a little
They
boy
have
of
a
their
little.
own.
Now there's a little baby. I can't remember what their race is called. Little rock baby.
I want to say Crimean, but I don't think that's
No,
right.
I don't know. Anyway,
So
that's
Korg
not
has a
really-
son
Yeah, Korg has a son
with
now
Dwayne,
with Dwayne the Rock.
Yep. Who had some similar facial features.
Yes, he had a mustache.
There it is. Cronin. Also the Cronin god, if we can throw back to that.
The Throne of Scissors.
Yeah, he's Throne of Scissors. That was reminiscent of the Throne of Swords.
Well, because
Beautiful.
rock beats scissors.
That's right. They've done a bunch of that rock, paper, scissors jokes throughout. If you watch any of the other recaps on some of the stuff, you can find a whole bunch of rock, paper, scissor references.
They make some references through the movies. The door opens and they're on a planet where there's a battle going on.
Are about to go on.
Right. It seems a little outnumbered on one side. And both of them come out. They do the Thor jump together. No longer is Thor alone.
No. Remember when we talked about him being all alone on that planet jumping?
Weep. All right. No longer alone. He now has a daughter.
That's right.
And they do the Thor jump together.
Yeah.
Axe is up. Thunder ignites.
Mm-hmm.
They come down, and then Love and Thunder.
That's right.
On the screen. Nice and juicy.
So neat.
All right.
It's beautiful.
And then, because it's a Marvel movie, you got to wait around.
That's right. Got to get post credits.
Post credits. All right. Why don't you tell them about the first post?
I don't remember.
Zeus.
Zeus is getting patched up.
You're terrible. You should have got a book.
I should have got a book. Zeus is getting patched up, so he didn't die from his own lightning bolt through his chest. He's getting patched up. And he's having a bit of a speech about how he's going to get vengeance. And he's talking to none other than Hercules.
Yeah.
A longtime foe of Thor in the comics. And somebody we figured would be introduced in this movie.
Yeah.
We weren't sure where they would be introduced, but post-credits is a good one, so it'll be interesting to see kind of where he falls in.
Before we go, I've got one more thing to check off in my book.
Yeah.
It's when the children are fighting.
Yes.
And He needs to get the children out of there. When he tosses
Yes.
the axe, when he tosses Stormbreaker to Heimdall's child Axel,
Yeah.
that's kick-ass.
Just
Like,
full toss.
That kid is kick-ass.
Yeah.
So,
Heimdall's looking down from Valhalla.
check. All right.
Valhalla.
Yeah. So,
Speaking of Valhalla.
that's where we get into the post-credit scene.
Yeah, the post.
All right. Where you were like, should we leave? And I'm like, no, we shouldn't leave. You know there's going to be a second one.
But
Right?
I just, there's a lot of credits.
Yeah, and then we have to talk about this stuff.
But I was excited about the extra credits because, again, we saw the names of all of the actor children that were a part of the movie, which is kind of cool.
Post-credit scene, we've got Jane, who...
Fonda?
Jane, yeah. Again, Korg doesn't know how to say anything, so he messes up Jane's name like several times.
Yeah.
One of them being Jane Fonda.
Jane Lynch?
Yeah.
Do you know who Jane Lynch is?
That's reminiscent of Thor messing up Fury's name, calling him Furry.
Furry.
Right. So Jane, when she dies, she goes up in a puff of glitter dust, similar to the glitter dust that I shot in your face, which is still in parts of the room.
The glitter dust you shot in my face.
Yeah.
My friend has a weird habit of dipping his testicles in glitter. It's pretty nuts.
We're going to ignore that. All right.
Because they're pretty.
We'll have a joke session later, okay? Okay, not today. We'll do it like another day. One's enough for now. So Jane is now sent to Valhalla, the resting place of worthy Asgardians.
Mm-hmm.
All right, where she is met by Heimdall,
or Jaime, as I like to call him.
All right. It's a very short scene, but she's essentially, you get a look at Valhalla.
Yes. Right.
Very nice place.
It's
all right.
Yeah. It's nice.
Again, is this another one of those realms? Is this the afterlife in the same realm as the other afterlives in other movies?
I would think.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. They'd all be kind of connected, right?
Yeah. Now, the importance of this scene is that it's just shown that she's arriving and greeted. But the importance of this scene, I think, for the future may be that she comes back as a Valkyrie in the comics.
Okay.
So, did they show us this to hint on that?
Could be miniseries.
Yeah,
TV miniseries.
Maybe.
I'd watch that.
Yeah,
with Valkyrie and Jane Valkyrie.
Now, when we spoke, we said that Jane had to die in this, right? Because she can't just. Things have to kind of go back. I know normal is not a good word to use.
Normal.
But it's not a character that can just thrive through through movies and movies and movies and shows. But a miniseries would be acceptable, right? You know, some of her journey.
Her journey back, what happens. Yeah,
you know,
I'd watch
just
that.
Like the Valkyries would be awesome. So
I think that'd be a badass series too.
Yeah. You know, because Valkyrie's a great character.
I love Valkyrie.
Right? She's lost all of her crew. She's lost her loved one. Right? For something to develop there would be fantastic. Right?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be an interesting show.
Anyway, I think that's pretty much Thor
Love
and Thunder.
Oh, you can see my hand.
Yeah, you can see my hand the whole time too.
Wait.
But
No, it just looks weird. What's happening over here?
All right, thank you very much. Are we pretty much done? You think?
It's like 9:45. So
yeah.
I think
I don't think we're gonna do
we
like a real after show.
these movie shows. I
They
feel
take
like
up a lot of
We're
time.
generally spending a
They
lot.
take up a lot of energy.
Easy, Fab.
All right.
Do you want to touch hair? So thanks for tuning in.
Angels.
Make sure that you remember to
Angels were just born.
like and subscribe. Ew. And come and join us next
I can
week
finally headbang.
when we'll be covering something else.
We're probably going to talk about Kamala Khan.
Can we?
Next
Next week.
How much I dislike her.
How much I did not
How much I disliked
dislike her.
her.
I think
I
you're
didn't
wrong already.
dislike the show.
I don't want to even get into it until we're doing the show because your words bother me.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming. Remember, Suicide Squad sucked.
You're an idiot.
Bye, guys. I'm so beautiful.
You're beautiful. It's lovely.
Gaze into my eyes.
Can I braid it?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have any beads?
I do.
You always have beads.
What kind? I can't braid that wig.
Look, it was part of the Fat Thor costume, so it was all raggedy.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, I mean, either way, stunning.
I love that.
Either way, it's stunning.
Mhm.
I've never felt so beautiful.
I think it's about that time.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she's still recording.
Goodbye.